Hey everybody, welcome back to Reality Skewed Gamers. We are going to start a new series. It's called the How to Mod series. I have with me Finity. Say hello to the fans there, Finity.
Howdy, howdy.
All right, so we are going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly on how to mod, and let's do Revan, because it's what everybody has now, so let's start out there. So let's start out with the first place that any player is going to start out, and that is, what does the in-game basic modding ask for you on how to mod Revan? They say we need to mod Revan with offense sets, and we need to mod him with crit chance sets. This is not a terrible idea. So let's talk about the primaries, because basically in the basic set, all we get are the set bonuses and we get the primaries, right? So the right side, let's talk about it. It says the recommended stat is an offense set bonus for the arrow. For the triangle, it says the recommended stat is crit damage. And for the recommended stat for the cross is also offense. I would agree with 2 out of 3 of these. I'm going to say yes on the crit damage for the triangle. I'm going to say yes on the offense for the primary on the cross, and I'm going to say no way in heck should you put an offense arrow on Revan. I also don't think that they did a very good job on the set bonuses, offense and crit chance. Fine with the crit chance. I think Revan needs more speed. Revan pretty much needs to be your fastest Jedi if you're running him in a Jedi lineup as lead for your arena team. Now, let's go to the second place, which the second place that we also recommend that most people go to whenever they're very first starting out is go to crouchingrancor.com mod advisor. What do they say? Speed, they want a speed set and a health set. Totally fine with that. How do they want the primaries to go? Well, we all know the left side primaries are going to stay the same. So our left side primaries, we've got offense, defense, and protection. I think you could put health in that spot. What do they say for the other ones? The other ones they say you definitely need a speed arrow. They say you could either go with offense or protection for the triangle. And they say you can either go with offense or protection for the cross. The Crouching Rancor in this instance, for Arena, in my opinion, gets it right. Now, Crouching Rancor takes some of this from, 50, 60, 80 people, and that's what they do, so it's not everybody in the game. Finity is getting ready to tell us what do they say on the new thing that we've seen from swgoh.gg for Revan.
Yeah, so if a lot of you guys haven't checked, swgoh.gg is a great resource, and it has a new feature called the Mod Report. And the Mod Meta Report actually tells you what exactly the different people in different guilds are using. And so for me, when I go to the Mod Report, the setting that I typically will put it on is the guild rank of top 100 GP. I think that gives the best indication about what people are modding for, because it'll also include not only Arena, if it's an Arena meta team like Revan is, but also for some of the other teams that you may utilize like Grand Arena and Territory Wars, where you may not capture that correctly if you look at the Arena ranks only. And so when I look at the top 100 GPs of guilds, and I look at the settings, what I see is that the number one most common mod set is a 4-piece speed bonus with no 2-piece bonus, which is what we were just discussing, right? Not a lot of people have the 2-piece bonus that makes it so you can actually fit something in. The main goal is speed. So most of the people that are at the higher levels, especially in the higher GP guilds, they are using Revans with speed sets as the main focus, and the 2-piece bonus, they're getting what they can. Now, when we look at the slots, the right-sided mods, the arrow is running a speed arrow. So that is exactly what we want, speed primary in the arrow. When we look at the triangle, most of them are using critical damage, which kind of goes back to the first source that we were talking about. Then you see offense, and then you see some critical chance and protection, but critical damage seems to be the main one. And then when we look at the cross, we're seeing offense and protection there. And so again, looking back at the first thing that we saw here, which was that it's a 4-piece speed bonus, it is all about getting that speed on your Revan, and all of these kind of indicate that, and then you can increase your damage where you can with the other mods as long as it does not sacrifice speed.
So again, we've talked about set bonuses, and we've talked about primaries. What we haven't really talked about here is we haven't really talked about secondaries. First of all, I think that you can mod a character with the correct primaries and the correct set bonus and make up for a lot of what you lose in secondaries. We're not always searching for secondaries all the time. But just to kind of give you an idea, I think you want, so if we look at what we've seen for the primaries, what can we get as secondaries that we see a lot of in primaries? One of them is we want speed, a lot of speed on this character. So we do want to see speed secondaries. The other thing that we see a lot of here is we see a lot of offense. So we probably definitely want to look at offense secondaries.
And one of the other things we typically look at when we're looking at how to mod a character is how it synergizes with the team that's involved. And typically the team right now that's being run with Revan is Revan, Grandmaster Yoda, Bastila, General Kenobi, and Jolee Bindo. That is the typical team that's being run. And so all of these synergize well with that team.
So I think what we need to say now is we need to say what kind of percentages what kind of numbers are we looking for, right? So just to give you an idea, right, of what you could probably try to look for if you're at the very top end of the game, is I think you're going to be looking at, once you've got all your Gear 12.5 pieces on, is that you want to have a speed somewhere north of 305.
And that's, again, for the very high end of most of your arena shards. It's really important you get into the habit of looking at different speeds and stats on the characters for those that you're going to be facing so you understand. Especially with Revan, unless you are really confident you have the fastest Revan, it's a good idea to check out the speed on your opposing Revan if you're doing a mirror match to make sure that your speed is faster, and if it's slower, strategize to try and beat a Revan that's faster than yours. There are strategies used for both, but it's important to know which one is which.
Well, hey guys, I really appreciate you guys coming to our to check out how to mod Revan video, and we'll check you next time. I appreciate it.